Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Skarlatos Zonarich ribbon cutting here. I'm Brad Jones. I'm the president and CEO of Harristown, and we couldn't be happier to be celebrating with our friends at Skarlatos here. I know you guys have been in this space for, gosh, 4 months now, 3-4 months, but we wanted to take a special time and with our friend the mayor, who is always welcome to come over, and he's eager to come over for what seems to be a blizzard of ribbon cuttings here in the downtown. And in fact, this is the first of 5 ribbon cuttings we've got coming up here in Strawberry Square in downtown. So we're just here to really celebrate. I want to first sort of thank our team. We had, sometimes I feel like Stuart Molina be the orchestra conductor of a fantastic orchestra. Our team members here, some of whom are here today, and some of whom could not come, but Sharon Hassinger, who helped, all the way along run this project with our project team, who always does a tremendous job of working with our architect, Catherine from By Design, who was intricately involved in this from the beginning and end, and Michelle Wireman from Diversified Design. I think Melissa is here, and so we could not have done it without the two of you. And as you can see from this space, this is a spectacular space. This is probably the nicest space that we have in our portfolio. And I would argue it's probably one of the nicest spaces in the city. And there's a lot of nice spaces in this city, but this space is spectacular. And that is largely a function of these 3 ladies and the teamwork that they did with Maori. Bill Sutton's here from Maori. When we have something tough and that requires a lot of real project management and detail, we turn to our #1 contractor, Maori. And Bill, thank you for coming today. I know Doug Makinich, who's our project executive, couldn't make it today, but this is a real team effort between and our team as well, with some of our building operations guys who work for Sharon and are able to, kind of help provide additional support and access whenever needed for the contractor and the architect and the designers. So if you love this design, you're going to want to talk to these folks because they are largely responsible for what you see here. And this is just the tip of the iceberg here as you wander your way through the rest of the space. As I gave the mayor a little preview tour, and he was, I think, as we were, stunned at just the nature of this space. So I also want to just take this time to say it's a pleasure to be able to work with a team like Skarlatos, who the partners are just the best people to work with, and their whole team. We've just had a tremendous experience on this the whole way through. It was not an easy deal to put together. As most of you know, we ended up purchasing their old building, and we're working on a project down there now. But this was all tied together, and Neil West, who couldn't be here today, was really sort of in the lead of helping put that whole deal together, as he is a legal wizard, but also a tremendous deal maker. And so this was not an easy deal, but if it was easy, anybody could do it. So we're delighted to work with our friends at Skarlatos. I know many of folks at Skarlatos have been friends of mine for years, but it's been a pleasure getting to know a lot of you through this project. And I want to turn the remarks over to John R. Zonarich here, who has created essentially a museum for this of old photos of this city, which are absolutely spectacular. And I know he prevailed on trying to get these pictures up in this space after going through a few iterations of what to do with this monumental capturing of the city's history, that you can now walk around the entire space and see and lose yourself. You had to charge admission up here. I mean, the museum quality of these pictures. So John, I'd like to again thank your team and ask you to make a few comments.
Sure. Thank you, Brad. Mayor Papenfus, on behalf of the partners of the firm, my son John B. Zonarich, Greg Chelap, Kathy Speaker McNett, all the attorneys of the firm, and all the staff. It is an honor to have you here to participate in the cutting of the ribbon for this new office space. We have a 10-year lease with the Harristown Development Corporation, which is our further commitment of our obligation and our commitment to the city of Harrisburg. We have been in the city for almost 50 years now, from South Street to State Street to 17 South 2nd Street, and now here. And it's a privilege to serve the businesses of the city of Harrisburg and the residents of the city. So we are really, really connected to the city, and we are invested in this city. And even to show further our investment in the city, one of the 5 volunteers appointed by the legislative leadership, the governor and city council to the city oversight panel, that is the Intergovernmental Cooperation Authority. One of our firm partners, Kathy Speaker McNett, is on that board, demonstrating once again our commitment to the city. We love it downtown, we're committed to it, and we hope to make more business arrangements with other businesses in the city, and continue to make Harrisburg a beautiful city that people want to come to work and live in. So thank you for sharing this with us today.
Thank you, John. And I want to encourage everybody who hasn't seen the new Skarlatos and Zonarich website. I took another look at it today, and I realized how dazzling it is, and all the pictures of the partners and the professionals on there. It's a brand new website that syncs with the space here. So these guys have a lot of talent here, and that's the thing that I think I want to impress upon folks who get to see this on Channel 20. That this is a world-class law firm here in downtown Harrisburg, and I encourage folks to reach out to them. They have a tremendous portfolio of services here, and we do not want them to be a hidden secret here. We want to shine our light brightly on Skarlatos and Zonarich. So it's my pleasure to be able to introduce the mayor. One of my favorite things to do is these ribbon cuttings. It's the best part of my job, and let me just say that the mayor is presiding over an unprecedented level of renaissance in this city. There's close to $700–800 million of construction going on right now in the city of Harrisburg.
We go with $1 billion.
It's rounded up to $1 billion. Yeah, rounded up to $1 billion if you want. I'm just counting the stuff that I know about.
I know.
The mayor knows more.
Yeah.
He's got a whole drawer full of projects in his office. But you have seen a complete turnaround of this city from the time he was elected to present, and I just want to emphasize how grateful we are to be a partner with the city on almost everything we do. We rely on the city as a partner, and the mayor and his entire team are always there to help us. I tell people in the suburbs this all the time. This is an easy place to do business here. This city is open for business. In various municipalities around the region, you can find yourself in a heap of trouble when you try to do a project, and the answer is usually no. Here in the city, the answer is we'll find a way to get this done.
We'll make it work.
So it is my pleasure to once again be able to introduce our mayor, Eric Pappenfuss.
Oh, thank you, Brad. Big thank you to Harristown, because if you talk about a visible transformation over the past 5 years, it's all that we see around us here in Strawberry Square, the filling in of all those spaces, and then right here in this very office tower, suite by suite, floor by floor, it has become renovated and turned into one of the most beautiful spaces I've ever seen in the city of Harrisburg, and I mean that. I think your commitment to the city is evident in your choice of decor. I love all of the historic photos. I love the natural light. I like the exposed brick and the modern setting. It really is a wonderful, wonderful place. A word about Skarlatos, Zonarich, and the firm. A few things you didn't mention, but which I think you should, are that when I was a newly elected mayor, and really was almost overwhelmed with the magnitude of the task, and I had to figure out how to assemble a team. You all reached out and offered an office space where we could have our transition at no charge, and it was in that space that I met for the first time, really, that had an extended interview with Commissioner Carter, who's turned out to be one of the city's greatest assets, but we really hadn't met. I met Jackie Parker, I met other people interviewed for all the various positions that became the core of the city's transition. And we thank you very much for that. And when it came time for my office to look for a community relations specialist and a bright, beautiful, smiling face to greet all those who come to the mayor's office, we tapped Jatoya here, and you did not stand in our way. So we apologize for taking her from you, but she's doing a wonderful job for the city. And it is absolutely true. Kathy Speaker McNett, the Democratic caucus reached out to me. They said, who would you recommend for the ICA board? And giving it a lot of thought, I was very pleased to push for Kathy, and it was a bit of a surprise, given that Kathy is not a Democrat, but I've known her for many years, and her family, and know her commitment to this city. And I have to say, looking around this room, I see city resident after city resident, and that's something which I think makes you particularly special. So I know how much you are invested in Harrisburg, and I thank you for all of that. Just quickly, we passed just this past week a new 5-year plan for the city. It's very exciting. No tax increases, and yes, I know that's the way to go. And continual growth. And in devising the plan, we went back at the ICA's suggestion, and we looked at the revenue projections for the first quarter of this year. And we found that they were tracking even higher than our wildest expectations, which means more people are working in the city of Harrisburg, more people are earning more money in the city of Harrisburg, and more revenue is coming in. That's great news. I said, I think in the last ribbon cutting that there were at least 1,000 new jobs since yes. last year. I think that number continues to grow and rise. Soon things like DGS will announce the winners of their relocation of another 800-900 jobs from the old State Museum complex. People are moving into the city in droves. There are blueprints for every quadrant of Harrisburg with exciting projects. As we've said, over $1 billion of planned investment just in the city of Harrisburg over the next 10 years. So I think it was great that you've locked in your lease for the next decade, that you will be here, literally overlooking the entire skyline of the city from these beautiful windows. And we will continue to move the city forward and continue to grow the city, because that is exactly what people want. I think in the region we're seeing more and more people wanting to move in, live in Harrisburg, walk to work, enjoy all of the amenities. And that's just a wonderful thing. And we celebrate that here today with this ribbon cutting. So thank you to all of you for your continued commitment to Harrisburg. We love working with you, and we appreciate this. And honestly, it is the nicest new office renovation that I have seen in the city, and something to be really, really proud of every day. Congratulations.
Yep.
5, 4, 3, 2,